So we are here on an iImage ST with one print head. It's got one print head on the right. And we're going to cover over some flushing maintenance. And this is something you might do to get air bubbles out of the lines, or if you have some blockage that you're seeing in your nozzle checks that you're obviously doing every morning, right? And so when you do your nozzle check every morning and you see an air bubble, you want to make sure that you actually blow that air bubble out and clear that out. That's when you have 1 or 2 or 3 air bubble lines of white space in your nozzle check. That's not a horrible thing. It just means that you got air in your line somewhere from having it sit overnight, and you need to come back in and do your nozzle check. You see the air bubbles and you have to purge those out. If you don't purge those out, those will actually be a problem later on. How much later on? That's probably 2-3 weeks to a month to 6 months. If you continue to just leave the air bubbles in there, then your head's going to dry, because that's leaving air connected to your wet ink. Wet ink's going to dry through the air, and so on and so on. So it's going to clog and ruin your print head. So this is maintenance to help you control that and clear that out. So as you see under here for a second, you got these tabs. You got the your work tab, your job tabs over here, and it shows you what's being printed. The next tab over is the printer tab, and this is the one that you want to work in and do on your nozzle checks. You're moving your nozzle checks, which is considered a calibration right here, and up above, as a reminder, is just for jobs, actually printing a separation. You don't move these, they all stay at 0. Down below is the calibration for your nozzle checks. Your nozzle checks are 3.5 inches wide. Actually, they're 1.5 inches wide, and you move them over another 1.5, so that would be 3 inches, and so on and so on. The Y origin is just to move it down another row in toward the printer. This is left to right on the X origin, and then down here under this tab is the manual cleaning, and that's where we will do our purging and flushing. They kind of do the same thing. They have different names, but flushing, the F button is for flush, and that is for cleaning out the pink cleaning solution. And then, but that's now changed to an ice green new cleaning solution, which is a totally clear fluid. And then that's what this button is for. And when you click this button, you can click and hold it for 1 second, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, or even a minute if you have an air bubble clear at the back of the main tank. For example, if you just changed out for your annual tank cleaning and you got some air in your line still, then you might want to flush all that out, and you continue to hold that F button while she has the window open over here with the valve set to close right now, but when you open it and let it flow, you're going to turn it straight up. And so that's in the closed position. That's how they should always be operating, to allow the line to be blocked off here. And up above is the actual print valve. Right now it's in a straight down position, and that's allowing the black ink to flow through. And if it's out toward you, the operator, that is a cleaning solution location. Straight up is closed or shutting it off, closing off the valve, not permitting any ink to flow at all. So we want it straight down, and when we're operating the machine and printing colors, and then when we do the flushing, she's going to open this valve up, and that's going to allow, while we are applying pressure over here. 1 second. You want that?
Do we need this out?
Are we doing the cleaning or flushing?
The flushing.
Okay, let's go with the flushing. So she's going to pull that flushing out directed toward her. We're going to flush. And we're flushing with the cleaning solution only. So that's the F button. So remember, that's not driven by the motor. So it's just gravity fed, and we're going to let it fly. So I'm going to hold that down, and she's now turning that open. And that's allowing the pink clear, or not the pink anymore, it's the clear solution to run through the print heads and clears out the lines. And as you look on the line, you'll start to see that black ink line turn clear as it is now. It looks like it's running water, and that's just running it, draining it down through the drip pan down here below. And so go ahead and close that off. We've done enough. And she shuts it off first, and then I'm going to release it over here. And then she's going to switch it back to black ink by turning the valve back down, facing the bottom. And we're going to switch back to the black ink and fill the line back up again with black ink. And I'll click and hold that for only a period of 3 seconds. So I'll click, and she'll immediately switch that up to the vertical direction. So I'm going to do that now. Click. She turns it up. 3 seconds. Close it back down, and then I release over here. So the trick is you want to continue to apply pressure the entire time. Now this window pops up. That's common. That's expected. That's what it's supposed to do. What it's telling you is that the white sub tank that's back in there needs to fill up with ink again, and you'll hear it clicking, and the motor is pumping, and it's filling this white sub tank back up, and that fills it up with enough ink to completely print a full image. And then once that's done, once it fills that sub tank up, then it stops, the motor stops, you stop hearing that clicking, and you're then able to proceed to the next step. So once you stop hearing that clicking, you're going to come back up in here, and you want to finish off with an auto clean. So your print position is down, it's ready to receive black ink. This is closed off at the bottom so that you know that your ink is actually going through your print heads and not through the exit chamber into the waste pan. So we click auto clean, let that run through its process. As you come over here, you'll hear it doing its part. There's a little clicking in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not. And the clicking has to finish. It'll go away. It's doing its auto wipe. Print head comes back. It does one more wipe. It's set to do 2 wipes total. You're ready to do a nozzle check. But after you do this and you're playing with the lines, there's going to be a little bit of air in the line, so I don't expect a good nozzle check right after I start doing flushings. So then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you do at least 1 or 2 more auto cleans, and then do your nozzle check, and you should be good to go at that point.